Minecraft. Probably one of the most peaceful games in the world. Well, many people would think that at first. Minecraft is actually one of the most intense survival games in the world. Minecraft Hardcore is a variant of survival where if you die, you are dead forever. Many people have attempted Hardcore, and many people have failed. In this video, I attempt to survive 100 days of Hardcore. Will I do it? Let's find out. And just like that, the 100 days has officially started. I decided to sprint towards a tree because that's the first thing you should do in any new survival world. I also grabbed some flowers and sugarcane, as the flowers could be useful for dye and decorations, and the sugarcane is a useful resource. It was time to do some basic crafting. I crafted a whole wooden tool set, picked on my crafting table, and I was off again. I realised that I had lost my first bit of hunger. I needed to get some food. This cow was insanely quick though. It was dodging all of my sword swings, or maybe I'm just bad at the game. I then found some coal, which would be very useful so I wouldn't have to use my wood to smelt my food and all. After mining some stone, I decided that it was time for an upgrade. I crafted a full set of stone tools and also made a furnace. I got on top of a tree, placed my newly crafted furnace and started to cook my raw beef. Whilst I was waiting for my food, I realised something was off. I quickly realised that I had forgot to put on shaders. I went into my settings and put on the only shader I had. I forgot about my steak and sharply looked down at my furnace. I had 5 pieces of freshly cooked steak ready to eat. It was getting dark and I still couldn't find a place to call home. Whilst I was sprinting through the grass, I seen a strange structure. It was a damaged nether portal. I rushed towards it as I already knew I was about to obtain some crazy loot. Well, that's what I thought anyway. I got a pair of golden boots with depth strider 1 and a fortune 1 shovel. At least I got 1 iron ingot out of it. I was trying to take a cool picture and then a creeper came out of nowhere. I ran as fast as I could. Luckily for me, it only did 1/2 damage. I decided it was way too dangerous, so I built a pole up so no mobs could attack me. Well, except one. I built around the bed so I didn't fall off the edge when I woke up. It was day 2 and I felt like I haven't really made any progress. I packed up my bed and crafting table and I was on my way. Whilst I was travelling, I stumbled upon my favourite wood in Minecraft, spruce wood. I decided to cut down a few trees since I'll definitely be using this in the future. I found some more sugarcane. Near the sugarcane, I found something very weird. It was like a massive hole in a mountain, and as soon as I seen it, I knew I was building my house there. I could hear spider noises, so I looked carefully around before I fully entered the mysterious place. I decided to fill the place with torches so no mobs will spawn in my new soon-to-be home. I found a massive mountain with lava flooding out of it, but right next to it was something 10 times better. A village. It was a decent sized village, certainly not the best, but I've seen worse. They had barely any hay bales, but at least they had a blacksmith. The blacksmith loot was actually pretty good. 4 iron and an iron helmet. I would have preferred some diamonds, but I guess this is alright. I then roamed around the village to challenge the defender of the village, the Iron Golem. I snuck up behind him and hastily swung my sword. He quickly pivoted and I knew it was time to run. 1 hit from him and I was probably dead. I decided to build a pole up so he couldn't reach me. He literally couldn't touch me. After a few hits, he finally dropped his iron. I picked up his iron and went back to my new home. I decided to make some chests and light up the area a bit more. I made a small staircase so I could have an easy escape in case I needed to run. After dumping all my belongings in my chest, I decided to revisit the village to grab some stuff I couldn't carry before. I went into a house in hopes to see a chest full of bread or emeralds. Instead, there was no chest and a family sleeping there. The zombie banging on the door made me think about the villagers who were sleeping. I killed the defenders, so I guess it was my duty to defend the village. Whilst I was thinking, more mobs kept showing up. I tried attacking them out of the window, but I could barely reach them. I manned up and opened the door. There was 2 zombies and a spider waiting. I quickly killed them and waited in the house a bit longer. I quickly ran out, trying to dodge every mob that jumped at me. Whilst I was still running, I stumbled upon another ruined nether portal. I was hoping that I would get some better loot this time, and I did. I got 2 golden axes, a golden pickaxe, a golden shovel, a sharp as 4 golden sword, and a golden apple. Probably one of the best chests I could have got. I realised it was time to return back to my home before I get killed by a creeper or something. I entered my house and quickly went to sleep. It was day 3. I started the day off by eating a slice of cooked steak. I decided that I should build a bridge so I wouldn't have to scale the side or swim back to my house. After I built that bridge, I looked back at my house, it was disgusting. So I decided it was time to build a real home. So I spent a few days making a new house. I finally finished and added a few little details. I looked back at it. It was a start, but I knew it was far from finished. I went to my crafting table and made a shield. A shield is probably the most important item I need if I want to survive the whole 100 days. I went back into my house and made a pretty convenient floor design that I've seen other people do. I put my crafting table and furnaces in the floor so they were out of the way and easy to access. I placed my bed and finally went to sleep. It was day 9. This could possibly be my busiest day yet. I woke up and decided it was time to go mining. But first, I needed to clear some space in my chest. The problem was that I didn't know where to actually place these items. So I did what any lazy person would do. Stashed them in a corner and forgot about them. I had some last minute designs before my big trip. It was time for the longest mining trip ever. When I say this mining trip took ages, it did. I spent a good few real life hours mining. I wanted to make the mining entrance look pretty cool, so I went for a nice design so it wasn't just a 1x2 staircase going down. This design would also ensure that I'd most likely find some more hidden ores. After mining down all the way to the bottom of the world, I mined into a wall and finally found a cave entrance. I kind of struggled to get in since there was water in the way, but after a while I made it through. It was already a great start since I found iron after moving up the cave a few blocks. After my bad mining trip, I left the cave and was greeted to 2 skeletons blocking my exit. Now I thought it wouldn't be too hard to defeat them, but this one skeleton was just too fast. I was missing all these axe swings and my sword broke. I need to defeat this skeleton before it defeated me. Whilst running away, it shot me in the back. I thought it was the end, but I managed to just make it into my house before my last heart was taken from me. I tried to spam click the bed to see if I could go to sleep, but it wasn't night yet. I put everything in my chest and went to challenge the skeleton again, only to find myself running back inside. And then finally I killed it, probably the closest I've been to dying yet. I replaced the flowers I accidentally destroyed and went to sleep. It was a new day and I decided to start off by going on a new mining trip since the last one wasn't too great. I remembered there was a cave near the village, so I decided to explore that cave instead. After what seemed like forever, I finally found my first diamonds. I made sure everything was safe before I collected these diamonds. I really didn't want to get snuck up on or lose my diamonds in the lava. After a while, I found even more diamonds. I made sure everything was secure and went to mine them. Well, at least that's what I thought. I sadly lost 1 diamond to the lava. I was so disappointed in myself, but quickly got over it, as it was only 1 diamond. I grabbed my last diamond and continued down the ravine. Now I don't even know how I missed these diamonds at first. They were literally right there and I completely missed them. Luckily, because of my bad building skills, I seen the diamonds and built over to them. And the luck continues. I didn't get only 1 diamond, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 diamonds. And it also made a nice exit for me so I could escape the cave. I couldn't find an actual escape, so I made my own and decided to dig straight up. This could have possibly been my worst decision yet. I was literally 5 blocks off from being cooked in lava. After recollecting myself, I went back to my house and went straight to sleep. Yesterday I managed to collect 13 diamonds, which isn't too bad. If I spent any longer in the cave, I could have definitely brought back some more diamonds. However, I did manage to get loads of iron, so I dashed it all in the furnaces. I put the iron in 2 furnaces so it would smelt faster. With the iron I smelted previously, I made a full set of iron armor. And with the diamonds, I made a diamond pickaxe. I also made some extra iron tools since I had nearly a stack of iron. And with the remaining diamonds, I made a diamond chestplate. I decided to add some more decorations to my base, so I made 4 shears and chopped all the leaves off the trees. The base was really starting to come along, but I still had some massive plans for it. It was time for an adventure. I woke up and dashed out the door. I was about to go on the longest adventure ever. I took a screenshot of my base coordinates and made my way to a new biome. This was about a 10,000 block journey, so instead of speeding it up, I just chopped it up because even at 400% speed, it was still about 5 minutes of footage. After about 6,000 blocks, I found a nice igloo. Sadly, it didn't have anything I wanted. Now, I wasn't really too sure what I was trying to find on this trip, but I did find a village which is pretty cool. I knew I had to get to the village quick, otherwise these mobs would swarm me. I ran into a random house and kicked the villager out of its own bed. I was desperate for it to become daytime, as I didn't feel safe at all. This village had one thing that no other village had: lanterns. As soon as I seen the lanterns, I already knew what I was going to do with them. I picked up as many lanterns as I could. I didn't even care if the village had no light, since I would never be visiting this village ever again. I located the defender of the village and challenged him. Iron golems are so easy to kill, so if you ever find a village in your own world, make sure you do this. It was time to leave the village, but I had to go across an ocean. It looked amazing, so I made a nice cinematic of it. I made it out of the ocean and ran to my base. On the way there, I found a new ruined nether portal. This was like the third one already. I collected all the obsidian from it, since I'll be using it to make a nether portal in my house. I woke up and checked my furnaces. I wasn't surprised that all the iron had smelted since I was gone for so long. I remember my lantern idea and decided it was the perfect time to do it, so I did. After I finished with that, I got on with making the nether portal. Now, I didn't want this to look too bad, so I built it into my wall since I wouldn't see the obsidian and it looked pretty cool. I made the flint and steel and lit the nether portal up. It looked insane with this shader on. However, before I travelled to the nether, I needed to do some serious food hunting, so I did a quick time lapse of me getting food. I also did a time-lapse of me building a Christmas tree. When I recorded this, we were in the middle of December. It's now the middle of January. This video is way overdue and I'm so sorry for that. After spending ages on the Christmas tree, I put some snow around it just to finish it off. It was finally time to go into the Nether. I was quite scared because if I was to die, it would definitely be in the Nether. I made it through the portal and ended up in the worst biome possible. I could barely move and there were skeletons everywhere. I wasn't really too sure on where to start, so I was kind of just looking around the Nether. And then I seen a piglin. As soon as I seen it, I rushed back to my house because I forgot to wear a piece of gold armor. The problem was I had no gold anyway, so I went mining for it. I only mined for a bit and found nothing, so I didn't even include it in the video. But that doesn't matter since I knew where there was some gold, and it was right on top of my Christmas tree. I grabbed the gold block and rushed to my crafting table. I turned it into ingots and made gold boots. The reason I made gold boots is because they take less gold to make, and they won't take a lot of my armor, if that makes sense. Now it's finally time to enter the Nether for real this time. I got in and was instantly getting shot at by a ghast. It had been a while since I tried to hit fireballs back at gas, so my time was completely off. And because I was panicking, I accidentally hit the piglin. This was going horrible for me. Somehow, the piglin managed to take 5 hearts off me. I quickly sprinted away. I was on 1 heart. If anything was to hit me, it would be over. So I placed as much cobblestone as possible. If you did not know, gas actually can't break cobblestone. I know I didn't know that until recently. I quickly surrounded myself in cobble and healed up. If it wasn't due to my quick thinking, I probably would have died, and I'm very surprised I survived because I'm not really too good at the game. I went to a different part of the Nether because I was sick of not being able to move properly. This was probably more dangerous than the last one. I made my way through the Nether until I got a massive jump scare. I put on my shield so fast it was unbelievable. Luckily for me, it was only a baby zombified piglin. The Nether looked insane. After adventuring a bit further, I finally found the fortress. I had to slowly bridge over to it though. This was super dangerous, one mistake and I was dead. One glitch in the game and it was over. I made it across safely. I was running low on blocks, so I literally had to make a gravel staircase, but I kind of forgot it was gravel. I scrapped the gravel and just used soul sand instead. I made it up to the fortress and I was greeted to a few blazes spraying at me. I got everything I needed from the Nether and decided to go home. All I needed to do was make it out and I would be safe. I made it back. I had some bones and I remembered there was a place near my house where there was some wolves. I approached a pack of wolves and tried to tame every single one of them since they all looked like they were a part of a family. I tamed the first one and still had 5 chances to tame the other ones. I got lucky with the second one and the last one only took 2. I managed to tame all the wolves. I gave them all different colours so I could tell which dog was which. I went outside to do some enderman hunting since the last thing I needed was ender pearls. I spotted one on top of my base and I approached it. I made sure it couldn't attack me before I attacked it. Sadly, it did not drop an ender pearl. I realised I was low on food, so it was time for another hunting session. I noticed that I didn't even have a farm yet, so I got started on a farm so I could easily get food. After spending a bit of time on the farm, it was finally time to go to sleep. I hadn't slept in over 15 Minecraft days. I tried my luck again to see if I could find any enderman that was still around from the previous night. Luckily, I found one and then lost it instantly. However, I did find something which was pretty cool. A skeleton with an enchanted bow. I really wanted the bow, so I killed it. Sadly, it did not drop the bow. After about 10 seconds, I heard the enderman again. I quickly made a shelter so I wouldn't die to it, but when I turned around, it was nowhere to be seen. I looked around and I still couldn't see it. It was starting to become midday, so I doubt there was any enderman around now. I went back to my house and continued working on the farm. I finished the farm, went back to my house and went to sleep. I woke up to see if I could try and find some more endermen, but instead I was greeted to a creeper that nearly killed me. I patched up the hole and went back to my house. I came home to find that a piglin has ended up in my house. I left it there since it wasn't really any harm. I went on a new mining trip to see if I could find some more diamonds. I decided to extend my mine further. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm actually gonna die. I'm actually gonna die. Now there's a zombie. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Run, 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 run. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. I don't even know if I'm still getting chased. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. How did I survive that? How did I actually survive that? Oh my god. I tried to tame a dog, but it didn't work. I turned around and I seen some new mobs floating in the water. They were holding crossbows and they were ready to fire. I thought I could easily take them, so I went into battle with them. I was like a shark. I swam underneath, then I jumped. This kind of backfired though, since I was stuck in the middle of them and they all had crossbows. I killed the only one that mattered and tried to kill the others. And then my shield broke. I told myself it was time to get out of there and quickly swam away. I managed to make it back home, but it wasn't even night yet. I didn't know what to do, so I decided to make myself a new set of diamond tools. I went to the village so I could try and defeat the raid. I heard the horns and I knew it was time for battle. Here they come. It was quite easy at first, and then the Vindicator came out of nowhere and did 7 hearts of damage to me. I was on 1 heart and I needed to run. I could hear the arrows behind me and was trying not to get hit. I kept looking behind me to see if I was getting chased. Luckily I wasn't. After that fiasco I went home. If I returned to the village I would be dead. I woke up and there was an enderman right near my window. He must have been chilling in the cave entrance the whole night. I thought he would be easy to defeat, so I looked him straight in the eyes and ran back to my base. Now this is really stupid here because I thought he wouldn't be able to get in my house. Turns out he can. I had my back against the wall so he couldn't run around me and kill me. I had to really time my hits because as you can see I was getting destroyed every time I put my shield down. It was all worth it though because he did drop an ender pearl. That totaled my ender eyes to 5. I woke up and thought this would be the perfect time to find the stronghold, so I grabbed my ender eyes and I was off to find the stronghold. The eyes led me to the ocean, so I crafted a boat. I actually crafted a shovel because I remember that it required a shovel to craft a boat. I can't remember if that was in a previous version or on Bedrock Edition. So if someone in the comments could let me know, that would be much appreciated. I hopped in my boat and it was off to sea. And what a perfect time for it to turn night because it looked amazing. Unluckily for me, the stronghold was deep in the ocean, so I need to make a safe way to get down without drowning. After searching around the cave, I finally found it, the stronghold. I was hacking my way through the mobs that tried to attack me. I continued searching through the stronghold, trying to find the portal room. There it was. I finally found it. I destroyed the spawner and I got pretty lucky. There was already 2 in the portal. I put my 4 ender eyes in. I had 5, but I think I lost in the ocean. I only needed 6 more ender eyes. After my small trip, I hopped in my boat and went back home. It was day 79, and we were nearing the end. I rushed to the Nether portal in hopes of finding Endermen, since there would be more in the Nether. As soon as I got in there was 2 ghasts waiting for my arrival. After dodging all the fireballs, I finally managed to hit one back. After spending quite a while running around the Nether, I realised it was a waste of time, and I went back home. I went through the Nether portal, but I accidentally stepped into some fire. I was praying that I wouldn't burn to death. And I barely survived. If I didn't eat that steak on the way through, I probably would have died. I went outside to see if I could find any Endermen roaming around, but instead there were some pillagers waiting for me. One of them had an enchanted crossbow that I really wanted. After killing all of them, I was rewarded with the enchanted crossbow. It was night time, so I decided to head to sleep. It was day 98, 2 more days into my intense battle with the Ender Dragon. I realised that I needed to get Ender Pearls quickly, so I spent all of today getting them. I spotted an Enderman chilling in between some trees with a grass block in his hand. Sadly, it did not drop an Ender Pearl. Found another one on top of my base. For some reason, Endermen love chilling up there. That was 1 out of 6, 2 out of 6. Sadly, that one didn't drop one. 3 out of 6. That one didn't drop one either. It was day 99. I had 4, so I went back to the stronghold to put them in. I only needed 2 more to face the Ender Dragon. I went back to my boat and returned home. But on my way there, I found 2 Endermen next to each other. This was it. This could be the final 2 Ender Pearls I got. I got 1. I only needed 1 more. I attacked the last Enderman and he didn't drop one. I went to my house, but I could hear an Enderman nearby. I looked outside and there it was. I made some shelter and attacked it. Luckily for me, it was stuck behind my fence, so it couldn't come anywhere near me. I killed it and there it was. The final Ender Pearl. I turned them into Ender Eyes and returned to the portal. I put them in and there it was. The End Portal. I jumped in and quickly realised I was underprepared. I had no potions and barely any arrows, but it was too late now. It was now or never. I was missing some shots on the crystals and was running low on arrows. I made some shelters in case I got swarmed by Endermen. I ran out of arrows and had to swim to the crystals. I felt like this was the end. All the odds were against me. At any moment the dragon could sweep me off these towers. There was a few times where I almost died. All I needed to do was destroy the crystals and I would be fine. I luckily brought some golden apples. Without them I would have died. I had the dumbest tactic when destroying these crystals. I almost died twice just from the crystals. It was finding the first damage phase, but when I went under the dragon it was invisible. It was the second damage phase, and I was depleting its health quickly. I was getting swarmed by Endermen and placed my water out of panic. It worked though. It was the final damage phase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. The dragon was dead. The 100 days was over. I collected the egg and left the end. I placed the egg on top of my tree. It was finally over. The 100 days was finally over. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video took around 33 hours to make and even longer to edit. If you would like to see a 200 days video, please let me know in the comments below. This 200 days has been a crazy experience because for one, this is the first time I've actually killed the Ender Dragon on my own, and two, this was my first ever hardcore world and I managed to defeat the Ender Dragon. All my socials will be left in the description if you wanted to know, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.